Welcome back, family, for a Remember Me. Yes, we have books that we have told you in the past, this is too hot, don't buy it. We will let you know when to pick them up. Okay, so here we go. We are going to be giving you each one of us is going to give you a pick. We're going to give you 2 picks each, 4 books total, unless you're a Patreon member for only $3 a month and you get free comic books. How can you go wrong? You'll get a bonus pick, and you'll actually see this list sooner. So,
Well,
all right. So, are you ready with your stuff?
yes.
I'm ready with my stuff.
Awesome.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Go first.
Star Wars, Darth Vader, number 3, first appearance of Dr. Aphra and
Yes.
2 other people. It doesn't really important. Or
OOO and
droids.
BT1.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck human names, but remember serial numbers and robot numbers.
Yeah, right.
Excuse me.
I'm still trying to level those characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So I'm like,
There you
come
go.
on, man. The drop rate sucks. Okay.
All right. So right now, you're looking at the fair market value of 67 raw, which
Okay.
is down.
Scared me when you said 67. I'm like, I know I paid a lot more than that for my 9.8.
What did you pay for your 9.8? Do you remember?
300.
Okay. So right now, fair market value is 260.
Not as bad as I thought with today's market.
Exactly. It could have been a lot worse.
Yes. I thought you were going to say like 180, honestly. But
No. 9.6 is running at 122.
Ooh.
That's getting into the territory where I'm like
Buy a crack and reprint. And
conservative Greg. Yeah. I might buy that, crack it, send it to a pro, and see if I can get that 9.8.
Well, I mean, look, seriously, you say it's 9.6 for 260 for 9.8.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad paying 300 for mine. Okay, I still think it's a solid investment. So if you can get it for 260, you got a great pick there.
Yeah. Looking at the historical data.
Like from Galaxy Quest?
Yes, exactly. So, let's just take a year ago, for example. 385, 350, 345, 480, 405, 412. Expensive.
I think this book had a major spike during the Boba Fett series when Black Chrysanthemum appeared.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Because,
They're buddies, right?
yeah, they're buddies. And also, Darth Vader number 3 is where Doc Aphra comes. Darth Vader number 1, 2 issues earlier, is the first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum.
Okay. Well,
And the two of them do work hand in hand, Doc Aphra and Chrysanthemum. So everybody's like, "Oh my God, we're getting Doc Aphra finally!" This is probably the most popular character that has not been brought to the screen.
I have not stopped hearing about her since I got into comic books. Mm-hmm. And that was in 2021, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I might get one of these because I feel like they're not, Filoni and Favreau are pretty attentive to fans.
I think it's also, if we see, and as much as I don't wish for the ill of any person, I do wish Kathleen Kennedy to get fired. If Indy bombs and if she gets fired and there's a renewed hope, a new hope in Star Wars, I think that alone could start to spark some of these prices to go up.
That's a great point, actually, because a lot of the people want what you want. And if that happens, it's almost like a gun coming to DC, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and we saw huge, for a while there, all the books on Cover Price top 10, not all of them, but there were a lot of DC books up there.
Yes.
So,
What's the 1 in 25 going for in that?
wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, I would, because that's a book that I was ready to pull the trigger on a couple of years ago and didn't.
So, fair market's $13.50
All right.
for 9.8.
Yeah, that's still higher than I was looking at the time. I was like 600. But that did shoot up a lot higher.
The 9.6 is around 600, 575.
Now, I was looking at a graded 9.8. Now, what was the high value of that 9.8?
Let's see.
Ish.
2021, it was sitting at 2,300. Yeah.
So it was
20,
it was
20,
it was Miles Morales numbers is what it was.
yeah. Surprising.
And this book is still above Shuri and around the Miles Morales numbers for a character that has yet to appear. That's how much this character is loved. So when, it's not even if, it's when this character arrives, boom. So I'm loving your pick.
Thanks, buddy.
That's also one of the higher price picks I'm used to you pulling.
It is a little bit higher than yeah. Usually I'm playing in the 150s and below, but I don't know. I feel like this is such a banger because it was is so legendary in my short time of comics.
Right.
What was it, 260? Yeah, 260 for a 9.8 is like,
Yeah.
rub my eyes a little bit looking at that.
So since you started off with an expensive book, I'm going to start off with an expensive book, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, thank you. Now, this is a book that I'd be looking for something like a 2.0 for 450.
Oh, sure. Okay. Old.
Tomb of Dracula, number 10, first appearance of Blade. Now, this book is really, it has soared, and it's come back down to earth because there's delays with the movie, rewriting, a writer's strike, superhero fatigue. But still, this is a book that was not super highly printed and bought back in the day when this came out in 1973. And it's the first appearance of a very big character. The first character that really showed that comic book movies can make money. Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Love those.
I loved all three of them. I know people don't like all of them that much, but you look at like a 2.5. One sold in April for $550, but you go back a year and it was $1,000. It's dropped 50%. A 3.0 sold for $432 in this month, but you go back 2 years, $1,250, $1,270. So these lower grades, because I'm trying to keep it in people's wallets range, for $450, you're getting a lower grade first appearance of Blade that 2 years ago, during the hype of the comic market, was selling for 2 to 3 times these prices. And when that trailer drops, I'm not saying it's going to hit $1,250, but dang it, it should easily hit $800, $900.
Yeah.
And this is a book that you may want to put in your collection because it has a very well-known cover.
Yeah.
And your opportunity to afford one is, maybe you were waiting for that right moment. I think this is it.
So, as you were saying that, I kind of was thinking, as a rule of thumb, if you can reasonably afford a book that they've made a facsimile of recently,
Yes,
you should probably pick it up if you can.
Yes. Yeah, if people are willing to buy a copy of the book, it's usually a good idea to have the original.
Yeah. So.
And
you're right, though.
Again,
you're right.
That's a 50-year-old book, man. 50. It's almost as old as me. And we don't know if anything's going to come out or any kind of special presentation or anything Halloween.
Yeah, because we had werewolf. Huh.
Yeah, so maybe they'll have Dracula. At which point, Tomb of Dracula books across the board are going to go up, and that one particularly. So that's my first pick.
All right. I'm gonna go next, and which one should I do? I'll go with Noctera, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was a book that was hot when I first started getting into comics again in spring of 2021, and I got a 9.8 for like, I don't know, $125, and I was like, oh yeah, this is so good deal.
Bop, bop, bop.
And it wasn't a horrible deal for the time, you know. Everybody was getting their checks and stuff like that, and tax returns and everything.
Free money.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking here. 9/8 were around $150, 130, 180, 150. You can get a 9/8 cover A, which is always, well, in this case, one of the more coveted covers for $87 fair market value.
I think I have 2 copies, 9.8 of the glow in the dark variant, which I know is less than that. It's a lower price.
Even though it's the same exact cover, just with like glow in the dark accents.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I might even recommend getting a raw of this. $13 and just do it yourself. But if you want to guarantee the $85 for 9/8, that's definitely optioned. And okay, let me pull it up here. Read the actual verbiage here.
Verbiage.
Nocterra. Verbiage. Okay, Scott Snyder confirms a Nocterra TV deal has been reached. November, writer Roberto Patino, who's written it for DMZ and Westworld, attached to produce for Netflix. James Wan and his Atomic Monster Company attached as well.
And Snyder has notoriously known for doing darker versions, so he's perfect for this for Nocterra.
Yeah, and confirming a TV deal has been reached. I don't know if that means the same as just optioned, or is that another step?
That's another step.
I think so too. So
you're not hiring writers and everything else. What you buy first, you just buy your option rights, which means I can do something with this if I want to. But once you start hiring people and start doing a screenplay, now you're setting it into motion.
Yeah. So not bad for $80 ish for a 9/8.
Yeah.
For a in product sort of at least pre-production TV deal.
But if you are shopping for one, it should say in the CGC label, if it's CGC, glow in the dark variant, make sure that you are not paying cover A price for the variant.
Yes.
Because they look identical unless you turn the lights out.
That's right.
So.
Good point.
All right, so I'm going to pull into my second pick and the last pick for YouTubers. We'll have more for Patreons. This is a book which this popped into my head when I was watching about The Flash and Guardians of the Galaxy and all the different movies that are out right now and movies that are coming out soon. When they're talking about big time characters, but how they get hyped up before the movie and then drop off after. Even if they are, actually the one that caught it was the first appearance of Rhino, Spider-Man number 41. How that book is blowing up because they showed him in the trailer for Kraven. But what's going to happen in the long run is when that movie comes out, that book is going to drop quite a bit. It's going to overcorrect and go below its fair market value. But it's still a first appearance in a Silver Age of a main character. So in the long run, it will rebound and have a higher price.
And John Romita just passed away.
Yes. But I mean, that's not my pick, though. I was just saying, though, that right now we're in that golden overcorrection after a movie has come out of a Silver Age first appearance where it's below its point that it's been for a long time. And it will rebound and go up because it's still a Silver Age first appearance. Thor 134, first appearance of the High Evolutionary.
Okay.
And these are some Again, this is 1966 this book is from, so it's older than me. We're talking old. Okay, and you still can get some really, really great. I'm looking at some of the recent sales on eBay. June 18th, a 7.0 sold for $169.50. A 6.0
Whoa. Yeah.
sold for $124.49. $125. You have a 6.0 Thor from 1966 with the first appearance of the High Evolutionary. Which there's still some speculation that he may be what they do to get the mutants into the MCU. He did survive at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. And even if they don't use him in the MCU, he's still a main character in the Marvel Comics, and that's his first appearance. So I think you're looking at something around $125 to $150 for a 6.5, maybe even a 7 if you can get one for $170. Under $200 for a first appearance of a main character from Silver Age.
Man, I'm looking at. There's some raw ones that are not too bad for like under $100.
Yeah. Because right now, everybody was expecting the High Evolutionary to do well, and his character wasn't as well received as everybody would have liked. So the prices have dropped quite a bit. Everybody's just trying to, they're dumping their books. They're oversaturating the market. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Good pick. Good pick.
Thank you. I have an even better one for the Patreon members.
Oh, well, in that case, for our public YouTubers.
Yes. Guys, thank you for joining us. If you'd like to know what these other picks are, check us out on Patreon, Team Ohana. Again, only $3 a month. Get free books, get more content, get it earlier, advice, everything we can give you. And you help steer the direction of the channel. Check us out on Instagram at Team Ohana Family. We've got our Etsy shop with new t-shirts that I still have yet to check out from Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, which he'll put the link down below in the description. Our podcast, which is at Team Ohana, where you can pick up our back issue book club. We're all over the place. We're just having a fun and building a family, and hopefully you'll get to join you'll join ours by clicking subscribe, clicking like, drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear what you think about all these, and until we see you in the next video, mahalo.